By the inter-ministerial committee that 151 South Africans will be evacuated from Wuhan city, the epicentre of the coronavirus outbreak. The families of South Africans outside the evacuation zone are also now demanding that their loved ones be brought back home. Cheriselda Lewis is with one of those families in Fourways. We cross live to her for more. A very good afternoon to you, Cheriselda. Give us an update of what's happening.
Well, Nzinga, as would have been expected following the announcement by the inter-ministerial committee yesterday that much of their focus on the evacuation will, of course, be on the epicentre of the coronavirus outbreak and the more than 100 South Africans, of course, to be evacuated from Wuhan city, where the virus itself was first detected. And what we've been getting over the past couple of hours is quite a number of concerned family members who are also asking the South African government to evacuate some of their family members that are outside the evacuation zone, which was announced by government yesterday. What SABC News does understand is that there will be a chartered aircraft that will leave for Wuhan city in just possibly a couple of hours or even to a day. Will leave South Africa, because you would know that basically the inter-ministerial committee is hoping to do that over the past into 7 to 10 days, they would need to have completed that evacuation. So SABC News does understand that the plans are for that evacuation, or rather for the chartered aircraft to leave South Africa, are at an advanced stage, and this remains while the families of loved ones that are outside of that evacuation area are wondering what's going to happen to their loved ones. Rami Ramalepe joins me now. Her sister is in Shandong province, which is outside of the evacuation area that South Africa has announced. She's very concerned about the safety of her sister. She says that her sister had been sick for some time, but her condition has somewhat improved. They're not sure at this stage whether she's picked up the virus or not, but what they've decided to do now is to basically book a flight for her sister to return to South Africa on a Thursday. So she's hoping that her sister will be able to make it to the airport and basically return to South Africa, as concerns, of course, mount over the increasing number of those who are infected and the death toll continues to rise. Rami Ramalepe joins me now, and thank you very much, Rami. Thanks for your time. I mean, you've reached out to us as SABC News. You're concerned that your sister is obviously outside of the evacuation zone. She's not part of those who will be brought back to South Africa. Talk to us as a family what your concerns are about that.
Good day to all the listeners at home. Our concern basically is with the Department of Health together with DECO. We're not really getting the proper response. Let's say, for an example, we have actually made means by ourselves to just book a flight. But however, arriving to South Africa, there is no facilities available. From yesterday, after the press briefing, I've called Minister of Health, I've called DECO. There is no facilities where she can get tested because we are scared that when she arrives this side, she might infect us with coronavirus or other diseases because she will be traveling.
Look, what we do know at this stage is that once she gets through the airport, a priority, of course, has been given in terms of screening to those travellers who are coming off flights from Asia, including from where your sister will be coming from. But what is the concern with you as a family? Your sister is not part of those who are going to be evacuated. Has she expressed concern to you about the situation in that particular area?
She has actually raised concern because when we last spoke, she mentioned that there are about 30 prisoners that they were infected by coronavirus in the very same province of Shandong. So obviously, also because she will be traveling, there is high risk. So I feel that the South African government need to actually put correct communication and facilities and avail themselves, because currently the information is not clear where to go and how to go around it. Yes.
All right. She's outside that evacuation zone. What is your plea to the South African government or anyone perhaps who is watching pertaining to you? We've had many such calls of families who are saying that their loved ones are not in Wuhan city. They don't know what to do. Have you made plans to get her back to South Africa? Talk to us a bit about what you've done.
Okay, basically we have booked the flight online, which the Chinese government, they were very helpful. But however, from the South African side, there is no any assistance that we actually got, and it's very disappointing. So basically, to others, I'm just saying, I think we are by ourselves, and they should actually make alternative arrangement. As the South African government, basically, it seems like they don't have plan in place to actually assist all the travelers from China.
So your sister will return on Thursday. Yeah. You then asked where she should go for treatment. What we do understand is that she would then need to go once her screening is done at the airport. And if she goes through that, perhaps she could be taken to a doctor if you're concerned, as you say, about her condition and your safety as well, as you put it. What process have you followed thus far to try and get help? Talk us through that.
Okay, basically from yesterday, I've contacted DECO, and the response that I've been getting is that they are busy with some spreadsheet and updating. And I was just asking myself that the whole day they will be busy with the spreadsheet instead of the response. We've been not getting any positive response. I've contacted the Department of Health. I've contacted different doctors that are responsible for coronavirus within the Department of Health, but there's no response at all. They just give you run around to say, contact this other person, contact the spokesperson, contact... And DECO tell you that about the spreadsheet. I mean, to update a spreadsheet is more admin, it's not operational. So it seems like there is no plan at all. Basically, it's about paperwork, but they were supposed to be responding from operational point of view, from medical point of view, from emergency preparedness point of view, not spreadsheet and paperwork and all of those.
So how have you and your family been coping, obviously since the very outbreak of the coronavirus? You're back here hoping that she's not amongst those in Shandong who are affected, because as the numbers stand currently, we know that there are 758 confirmed cases in Shandong, specifically where your sister is.
Basically, we've been panicking. It's very stressful. Everything has stand still, because it's very unsafe, and it's very scary. Basically, we've seen the number growing each and every day. We watch the news, we see on the social media and other countries, the spread. Basically, it's a huge panic for us, and it's just sad because of most people left South Africa because of unemployment, and getting to other countries to experience that is really sad for the family and very stressful.
Yeah. Thank you very much indeed for your time. So, Nzinga, Rami is one of those family members whose loved ones is in China, outside of the evacuation zone that was announced by the inter-ministerial committee yesterday. Recall, of course, that these South African citizens who are in Wuhan city at the epicenter of the virus will be evacuated from there. So, people like, Rami's sister, who are in Shandong province, at this stage, who also want to come home, will have to, at this stage, make their own means, because government did indicate yesterday that there are no plans at this stage to evacuate South Africans in other provinces of that particular country. So, let me give you a reason why perhaps you might be concerned about this. If we look at the latest statistics, we've been getting, as part of our research team there at SABC News, live feeds about the numbers of confirmed cases in particular provinces. So in Shandong, where Rami's sister is, there are 758 confirmed cases and 6 deaths thus far. And that's the date of this report is actually just a couple of hours ago, dated today. So you've got live information that's coming through. So 6 deaths, more than 758 confirmed cases of the coronavirus in Shandong province, where Rami's sister is. So the concern certainly is growing. While government certainly is doing all that it can to evacuate its citizens from the epicenter of the outbreak of the coronavirus. There are many families that have reached out to SABC News whose loved ones are outside of that evacuation zone. They're wondering how they're going to get their loved ones home. So not just concern about them traveling. According to Rami, they've made plans with the Chinese authorities to ensure that her sister is able to make it to the airport and is able to leave Shandong province and make her way to South Africa. Of course, when she gets here, she will get the necessary screening at the ports of entry. But of concern to them is where then does she go in order for her to test whether she may have symptoms of the coronavirus or where exactly South Africans who've returned should go. She says she's got no help pertaining to that. So it's a sentiment shared certainly by one family and many others who have called the SABC with the very same concern about what happens then to those South Africans who are outside the evacuation zone.
Cheriselda, a very worrying story emerging there. Thanks for that update.